Tallulah har sagt til skolen, at hun har set en fyr og 2 damer tage coke på hendes værelse. Du forstår godt alvoren, ikke?
Jo.
Du forstår godt, at hver gang det er din weekend, så glæder hun sig helt vildt. Fordi hun holder så meget af sin far. Og hun snakker om alt det, I har aftalt, det skal. Du skal se hende, når jeg får hende hjem igen. Det tager hende hele ugen, før hun er glad igen.
Så hvad er problemet sådan helt konkret?
Problemet er det, at Nikolaj, han har ansat en skjald på alt, hvad Nikolaj gør med sang og musik. Alt.
Han inspirerer. Jeg
har en eller anden rollespilsidiot boende i mit hjem, jeg overhovedet ikke kender, som er alt for gammel til at ikke at bruge deodorant.
Det er jeg ked af, du skulle høre. Det gør ikke noget. Du skal ikke tage det. Nej, det gør jeg ikke. Det er helt fint.
Welcome to Scandinavian Films at the Berlinale 2023. I'm Wendy Mitchell. I'm really excited. Today's interview is with the maker and the star of Agent, an amazing new Danish TV series. We have writer-director Nikolaj Lie Kaas and the actor Esben Smed. Thank you both for joining us. Congrats on the show. Nikolaj, can we start with you? Where did this idea come from? Because obviously you've been working a lot as an actor yourself. You've got an agent. Your parents were also a bit in showbiz. So where did all these ideas start to come from?
Well, there was a lot of stories in the celebrity world and in my realm of my trade of work where I found this has to be something that we need to share with other people. These crazy things doesn't happen to any business in the world, and I think this is kind of a small community where people are allowed still to be extreme in all kinds.
That's a polite word for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
To be eccentric, I think that is a very nice place, a very small little circus that can work in itself. And I saw the stories here I kind of combined all those stories from things I either heard myself, I experienced myself, or something that I've known that had happened in the past.
Okay. And this show, I mean, some people have already asked me, is it like Call My Agent? I'm sure you're sick of this question, because I was able to see it, and I said, it's not really at all. It's the same thing. It's like, if it was a police show, we wouldn't say, another police show. But it's very different, because this Agent Joe, it's so much about him and his family and connecting with his daughter. And can you talk a little bit about, because it's not just him being an agent, it's him being a dad.
No. Yeah, definitely. I think there's two stories. The A plot in the story was definitely that Joe is a dad. He has a daughter that he doesn't focus on completely. He should, obviously. And he has an ex-wife that mocks him for not being there and everything. So he's all the time trying to behave and be that dad that he should be, but he always has his focus on his clients. That is something he's almost like a dad to his clients, and that is main focus. And the story, I mean, the whole arch is maybe him trying to figure out the balance between the work and life.
Yeah. Esben, I think part of the reason this show worked so well for me is, I don't know if you're a charming man in real life, but you make Joe really charming, and then we're rooting for him, even when he's doing stupid things or making mistakes. We really still love him somehow. I mean, how did you approach Joe?
I just tried to be as much of an ass as I could be, and I totally failed, and then it worked.
No, actually, I have to say, when I started, I had a lot of auditions on Joe, and when I saw Esben, he was the most relatable to being an idiot all the time, to doing, like, I mean, in terms of being a character that makes stupid choices all the time.
Esben, rebuttal to that.
No, we had, from my experience of that was, I got the invitation for the casting, and then on the day I went there, and I met one of my other colleagues, just at random, some other place, and he said, why are you here? And I said, I'm going to, Nikolaj is going to make this TV series, and I love that guy, and I'm just happy that he wanted to see me. And then he said, yeah, I've been there as well, everybody's been there, so no one's gonna get it. I thought, yeah, okay, good. So then I went in there and came into Nikolaj and said, thank you for having me. I'm not funny, so I don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah, that was the first thing you said. Thank you for the invitation, but I'm surprised that you asked me because I'm not funny. But
I always play the drama parts. Yeah.
But I think the heart was what I needed for him being a jackass all the time. I mean, he has to be something that we can relate to at least somehow. And I think if we can relate to Joe somehow, it's only because of you as an actor.
It's not true. It was all written in the script. I just followed the lines.
We're not going to get an agreement here, but we move on. Yeah. Esben, has your agent seen this show yet?
We have the same agent, and yes, she has seen the show, I think.
And yeah,
I think she's seen.
Are you going to need a new agent?
She's not returning my calls.
Okay, yes. But seriously, Nikolaj, she's not a bad agent. Liz.
I love my agent. I think I've been blessed with a fantastic agent. I think the whole the stories I've gathered for the show has been taken from what I've heard and people I've met where I'm just surprised that people can think. Actually, this character, this lead character, is not necessarily someone I can relate to, which is like rare. You've always been told that you can only write about people you can understand yourself. And this is really not me. Joe is not me, but there's a lot of things in him that is me, of course. But he's the way he thinks and his stupid choices and the way he thinks he can escape something and fulfill his dreams is so far from me as I could imagine. But I have a lot of friends that think that way, and I'm very fascinated by it. I have a friend that once told me that he was supposed to be a dad after a one-night stand with a Brazilian woman, and he was like so surprised, he was so excited about it. And I'm like, how can you be excited about something that is based on so thin ice and have a kid in Sao Paulo or something? How can you not feeling the fever just seeking in? I think that is fascinating when people are thinking in a completely different way than me, and doesn't have the filters that I have.
One thing I love about the show, I don't think I've ever seen such a sunny Copenhagen show. Yeah. This is not noir.
This is definitely not noir.
There's nobody being killed as far as I've seen so far. Why is it nice to show that there's more to Scandi stories than noir?
I think we've been with the dark Scandi noir. I think this was shot during summer, which is rare in Denmark. In Denmark, we like our summer holidays, and people don't work during the summer. Only when they do kids' movies, they're always sunny. And I thought I've never really filmed in Copenhagen. It's been many years ago, and I think it's a great city. And during the summer, it's the best. You should never travel during the summer because Denmark is fantastic, and I wanted to portray that.
Was it nice working in the summer, shooting in the sunny?
Yeah, it really was. It really was nice not doing Nordic noir.
He's not from Copenhagen.
So I traveled to Copenhagen to do it.
Yeah. Fantastic. He's a farmer.
No, what part are you from? Jutland or something? Okay.
He's teasing me about it all the time. Okay. So let's not go there. It's not funny. Yeah.
In addition to this amazing performance by Esben, you've got some of I don't know if they're your pals in real life, probably. Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, Ulrik Thomsen, these other actors who are playing not quite themselves, sort of amped up and making fun of themselves a little bit. How did you convince them to do that?
Well, it took some persuasion once in a while because it was not everyone that was key on making fun of themselves in that regard. But I think there was definitely some scenes that I rewrote after talking to the actors, and there was someone. Ulrik is actually funny because Ulrik is always has a lot of notes, and he doesn't really want to say yes to a project straight away, and he can be a problem. But when he read the script, he said, like, I think it's funny. Nothing. Like, this is amazing. I've never experienced that. And I love to work with Ulrik, and he has a great sense of humor, and people rarely see that. He's always played this serious, angry dude that hates everyone, and he has a great potential for comedy.
And I really love that this show is premiering here at the Berlinale. I think it's a real sign that it's not just for a local audience. The international people are going to love this.
That came as a surprise as well to me.
Yeah, I mean, have you had any fun in Berlin yet?
Well, yeah, we were out yesterday. Actually, last night we kind of experienced the whole Berlin vibe where we just went out for a drink. You weren't here, actually.
I was working.
So he wasn't here, but we was here out with Ulrich and my producer, and we kind of ended up in a bar where I thought, this never happens if we were just in real estate or something. It's fantastic in my line of business. You meet some people, they know someone, and all of a sudden you're in this part of the town.
Cool, divey place somewhere,
It was closed down, and we got in there eventually and stuff.
That's a classic Berlin. Nikolaj, I have to ask you, I'm going to bring back hopefully they're good memories. Back in 2003, and you can make fun of him for this, you were a shooting star here in Berlin. Do you remember that year, or what advice do you have for the new shooting stars?
Do you know something about the 2003?
No? I've heard not that much, but I think...
I remember I was very under the influence of alcohol at that point, but I remember vaguely some situations. I remember I got the award from Dennis Hopper. That was a huge thing. I remember the same night I forgot the statue in a bar. Vanished. I don't know where it was.
Okay, keep track of your statue. That's one.
I have to call him afterwards and ask for another one.
Okay. You're going to be better behaved this year,
I
think.
I will.
Congrats on Agent. Good luck with your premiere, and thank you for talking to us. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.